You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Why didn't the intro play?
No, it did play for the listeners, but I unplugged our speakers by accident.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to randomly
start.
push buttons at times during the podcast, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
Yep.
Tyler's back.
I'm back in the saddle.
Liam's here.
I am here. I never left.
Rick is still sad about Yamamoto and Costa.
Could not. He's on the IL with an emotional injury.
So Tyler was in Nashville for the draft and the NHL awards. By any chance, Tyler, did you happen to see Rick's Instagram the day of the trade?
I did not know.
It was very funny.
It was very funny.
It just said, "Nobody talk to me. Summer is canceled."
Yeah,
that's tough.
He had a tough day. I think it perked him back up a little bit when Matthias Janmark resigned.
Yes, that's
That
another one of his
him.
buddies.
But we were kind of we were talking about how Rick would be, and then he kind of snuck into
He
the
walked in
office.
the door as we were talking about him.
I acted very natural and calm, and it was very normal of the reaction I gave.
Yep.
Hey,
what
Rick,
actually
how's it
happened, he
going?
goes, "Hello, Rick. How are you today?"
And it was not suspicious.
You're not a great actor.
No, acting is not my forte. Although I was in a play when I lived in England.
What was the play?
It was this one where the person was traveling the world and they went to Hawaii, and I was the reader. I had to come on and read what Hawaii was.
A collection of islands.
Quite a big role.
It is.
It's also in the Saturday dance group.
For our friends at Oodle Noodle, we had a lot of Oodle Noodle out in the office today for free agency.
I'm
I
in my
crushed
Oodle
a box
coma right now. This is a struggle.
I ate a whole box. I know I shouldn't do that. I did it anyway. I also had donuts and I had a green onion cake. I'm very full.
Mm-hmm.
The green onion cakes are a gem.
They really are.
We just had one staring at us while we did the live show, along with the 2 full boxes of Tokyo Glaze that we had. The temptation was high.
Liam and I, so today's obviously Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Liam and I were playing a guessing game as I was ordering the Oodle Noodle for the entire group. We probably had 15, 16 boxes in there. So me and Liam were like, well, let's play a little Price is Right. Let's see what this comes out to. We did not do well, Tyler.
Yeah. It was so
we tried.
I think I was $120 off.
Yeah, I was about $100 off.
Tough
Anyway,
boys.
you know what? Way she goes. Thank you to the fine folks at Oodle Noodle for supporting us today on Free Agency Day. It was delicious. I'm very full. I too am going for a nap once this podcast is over. Now, let's get to business, Tyler.
Yep.
We don't need a delicious debate today. Actually, I'm going to come up with one today.
Okay.
The Oilers had, coming into this morning, $7.1 million after they signed Matthias Janmark yesterday.
Yeah.
Delicious debate. How did they do with the money they spent today?
Just an A. I won't quite go A+, but I'll say an A. Like, listen, you had a clear-cut need for a top 6 right winger.
Got one.
You needed some depth pieces. Got them. And you spent a grand total of $2.25 million in cap space, $2.3 million in cap space. That is awesome GM work by Ken Holland. I'm not sure how anyone could complain about this. Like, okay, listen, is it a problem that they're going to have some dead money coming next year with the bonus overage for Bouchard or for Brown?
Do we know what those look like yet?
It's games played, I heard.
Games played.
All games played?
It's all related to games played.
Figs. Because you want the guy to be healthy.
You want the guy to be healthy, yeah.
You know. Anyway,
you want those bonuses to happen.
You want those bonuses to happen, 100%. They're going to have some dead money next season. Okay, are we not in our Stanley Cup window? Are we not doing everything we can to make next year's team as good as possible? So guess what? Maybe long-term wise, it hurts a little bit to have Brown's money on the books next year and to have Bouchard and McLeod take bridges instead of long-term deals. Sure, the goal is Stanley Cup next year. And today, Ken Holland got the Oilers a little bit closer to a Stanley Cup next season.
Liam, delicious debate. Could the Oilers have done better with the money they spent today?
No, because they didn't spend any, did they? I mean, I'm not even really counting the Lane Peterson and Drake Caggiula deals.
They might not play 30 games in the NHL next year.
Yeah, so those feel so irrelevant to me. They're just minor league deals. But to get Connor Brown on $775K, wasn't it? As a cap hit is crazy good.
Crazy.
Considering we haven't seen a ton of deals out there, but the bonuses are obviously going to be something for the year after. But I thought this was going to be probably around $1.5 million with the bonuses, but Ken Holland did his job, and so did Connor McDavid.
Yeah,
I didn't hear Brown's quotes. What did he say?
He said that McDavid was the best player in the world, and it's like hard to turn down a guy like that. Something like that.
I quote from James Duthie on the TSN panel. He goes, "Was Connor McDavid part of the recruiting process?" And Connor Brown goes, "Yeah, he was. When you have the best player in the world who wants you on their team and thinks you can help them get over the hump, it means a lot. I'm excited to come to camp and be prepared." So did Connor McDavid factor in on his buddy coming to play? Of course he did.
2 pieces of breaking news from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Let's go.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Tristan Jarry is going back to Pittsburgh on a 5-year deal at a $5.375 million cap hit.
Is there talk of him leaving?
There was.
Mike McKenna is big on them getting
rid of him. Yeah, he thinks they needed a new look. And Ryan Graves is signing in Pittsburgh as well. Terms of the deal not yet known.
Pittsburgh needed to do something, but I think it should have been within the forward group, not defensively.
They did get Riley Smith.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not super high on Riley Smith, but they did get him.
I think I still like the idea of them getting Tarasenko, but that's probably not possible.
Probably not possible.
You know what? That'd be your insurance play. That's from Cornerstone Insurance.
Yes.
CornerstoneINS.ca/nation. Get yourself a little discount, instant quote, all the insurance products you need. 90 years. They've been a premier boutique insurer here in Edmonton. Go check them out. CornerstoneINS.ca.
What did you make? You like everything Holland did?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, it's weird, right? Because Connor Brown was another one of those ones like Zach Hyman and Jack Campbell where we knew he was coming here, more or less. It was just a matter of figuring out the dollar. So to have it come in at $775K, wows us.
Mm-hmm.
The bonuses are, well, let me split it, I guess, the reaction, because Twitter, if you don't know today, has been completely fucked. Elon's doing a great job. No one can see any tweets. Like, I don't know about your guys' Twitter accounts. I can tweet things, but I cannot see anything.
Yeah, I can't see anything. Tyler's figured out the secret code to it, though.
You just have to use TweetDeck and it works.
Okay, that's a good tip. So the Connor Brown thing came out like 4 different times.
Mm-hmm.
One had it at $1.3 million. Then there was others just like, oh, he's not quite done yet. And then Dreger had $4 million, which is the aggregate total of everything together. And
it was
goes,
like,
whoa, all I could think about is like $4 million. Fuck, see you later, Fogel.
And CC, like, it was insane to like try to wrap your head around it in the moment. Yeah.
So it was a confusing one, but to see him come in at $775K, at least this year, I mean, I think that he's got the opportunity to set himself up for a monster contract next year playing alongside Connor early on.
Yeah. Next summer is going to really be interesting, I think, for the Oilers, depending on what McLeod and Bouchard come in at as well. Like, you might be re-signing a lot of the same guys just on bigger tickets, but the Oilers got to take an approach of looking at it right now. And today they got better. We kind of thought about it on the show, and there's some question marks there, obviously, with like Holloway and Lavoie. You don't know what they're fully going to be. Holloway is a bit more of a clearer picture, but that top 6, man, all 6 of those guys could score 30 goals next season or more if they're all healthy.
I'll say maybe my caveat is, given the circumstances, they got better. You couldn't afford Klim Kostin. It sucks. We love the guy.
Love him.
But you couldn't afford, like,
he signed the 2x2.
Like, you couldn't give him 2x2. It sucks.
Were you surprised to see that Klim Kostin, I guess, was the cost of the Yamo buyout, essentially? Or
yeah,
he was like that. It wasn't like adding a pick to Yamo to send him to Detroit. It was adding Kostin to Yamo.
Which I guess good work by Holland, because then you weren't too worried. You didn't have to buy out Yamo, and that's big.
Yeah.
For Detroit, I'm kind of sitting there going, okay, so you wanted Kostin so bad. Not only were you willing to give him 2x2, but it's more or less $500,000 of dead cap space each of the next 2 years.
So it's essentially 2.5. Yeah.
Like, you really wanted Klim Kostin that badly? Like, that's a real big overpay. And also, if you're Detroit, you still have even after everything they've done today, you still have $19 million in cap space. Why wouldn't you just bring Yamo in for a year?
Exactly what Liam and I were talking about in the office yesterday. It's just like, they had so much cap space leading into free agency. I was like, 1 year at Yamo at 3.1. Was that really the worst thing they could have done? And if he, like, I mean, I get it. It's a lot of money for a player who may not be playing up to that level right now, but he could score you 20 goals. He's done it before.
It's just health, isn't it, with Yamo? And I think that's what's plaguing him right now a little bit too, is like, no, how can he play 82 games? When they released Klim Kostin last night and didn't qualify, I was very flabbergasted. It's like, why did Detroit make this deal? Obviously it makes a bit more sense now, but Klim Kostin, I mean, good for him to go and get that $2 million after play. Has he even played 100 games in the league yet?
Oh, and he's got $4 million guaranteed now. That's solid.
Yeah, that's good work.
The thing that's interesting too is he was on a heater, like a shooting percentage heater last year.
Yeah.
Didn't he end somewhere near 20%?
Yeah.
That's high.
And all his goals were within like a month span, right?
He did cool off for a little bit.
Yeah, he got really, really hot, especially when he came up.
Fan favorite. I would have loved to have him back at $1.25 million. Good organizations can find Klim Kostins every year.
Yeah. It's just, that one sucks.
I know, because we love him. He's so funny.
And we talked about this on the Friday episode, but like, I was prepared for the Yamo trade. We've been prepared for it essentially since the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Klim Kostin was just like, man, we love the guy.
Yeah.
He was like,
and he loved us.
Yeah. Come on, man.
We'll never forget you, Klim.
I will.
The meme will always be in my phone.
Mr. Clean?
Mr. Clean.
Well, that's another thing. There's no way in Detroit they're going to meme him the way we do.
No, they probably don't have the pint in Detroit, I would assume. Not. Or Rick. What's Clem going to do? I can't believe he signed 2 years there.
Yeah, all they've got is Little Caesars everywhere.
Ugh.
And 8 Mile references.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the odd Eminem appearance.
Yep. Just going to listen to Lose Yourself everywhere you go.
Yeah. You better never let it go.
The other, looking at the other news that the Oilers got done yesterday, Matthias Janmark, 1 year, $1 million. Tyler, what do you think of that
one? The janitor, as they call him.
I did not know that was his nickname. Love that.
Love it. Great for Matthias Janmark. Hey, he liked Edmonton so much, he took a discount from his last year's salary to stay here. Not that he would have had a big market, as we've kind of seen from the other signings. He probably could have gotten $1 million somewhere else, but not a whole heck of a lot more.
Looking at the market, he probably would have got less than $1 million.
Yep. There's something so incredibly funny about the people around this team online who will just bitch about everything. Derek Ryan comes back. They get him under $1 million.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-year deal. Why are they giving him 2 years? What's the point? Ken Holland's got to stop with this. Okay. They bring in Janmark, 1 year, $1 million. Oh, to not get Janmark at league minimum, it's embarrassing for Holland. This makes them worse. Good Lord, people. He kills penalties. He'll score you 12 goals in the bottom 6, and the core players like him. There was one member of the core who said specifically to Ken Holland, I do want Matthias Janmark back on this team next year.
How do you know that?
Sources.
He spoke to Janmark.
Also, that's a similar thing to Fogle. Is I guess when Ken Holland wrapped up the season, I had heard that he kind of talked with some of the inner circle players on this team and said, like, are there guys on this team who you view as guys who drive and help us win? And Fogle and Janmark came up as answers in that. So there you go. The room likes him. He kills penalties. They need penalty killers. Woodcroft trusts him. It's a good signing.
What do you think about the tinfoil hat theory we developed? Saying Kyler Yamamoto is going to come right on back. Now, follow me through, Tyler.
Yeah, hear us out.
We've got thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm. This wasn't just an idea that came up.
No, we were workshopping. When players are traded away, think of Puljujarvi, think of Tyson Barrie. Mm-hmm. Leon, maybe Connor will go on their Instagrams and say farewell.
Yeah.
Goodbye. There was no such thing for Kyler Yamamoto. That's why when the buyout happened, we formed a plan that he was going to circle on back for a cheap deal to come back with the boys.
I don't know I think this is one of those scenarios where a fresh start could be good for Yamo.
I disagree. I think he needs to come back to help us with this idea. Yeah. I think that this decision is coming down to, do you want Lavoie at 900K or do you want Yamamoto at 900?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably the decision, right? When it comes down to it.
So what's the answer? What's your answer?
Honestly, probably Yamo.
I would way rather have Yamo.
Yeah. Yamo's the more known commodity there.
And if he gets hurt, then you just, Lavoie comes up anyway.
I think you need the insurance too a little bit on
Cornerstone Insurance or cornerstoneins.ca.
Yeah. On Derek Ryan. I know Derek Ryan is Mr. Consistency. He doesn't really do anything wrong and he's good at those 10 minutes a night. Mm-hmm. He is also 36.
Give him a 3-year deal in Toronto.
Yes. And I would maybe Lavoie will be good, but did something happen?
Yeah, Pittsburgh shit.
Oh, the Nedeljkovic thing?
Well, they got Nedeljkovic. They're giving Graves 6 years, $4.5 million.
Pardon? Is this Adam Graves in 1994?
Oh, Kyle Dubas masterclass. Am I right?
Has anything come up yet on Miles Wood, who also got a 6-year deal?
Yeah, did you hear that?
Miles Wood got a 6-year deal in Colorado, but there's no fee on it.
Is there another Miles Wood?
That was Friedman's report. So yeah, I don't.
They must have got him for his looks.
Is he a handsome fella?
Isn't he supposed to be like a Hampson? Yeah, he's a
pretty good looking dude.
Yeah, he is. Hey,
right.
I paid $2 million for those looks.
All right.
I don't know how much I paid him.
I don't know.
Now we're cooking, boys.
It's just free
Matt
agency.
Duchene 1 year with the Dallas
Holland
Stars.
apparently it is media available.
Go ahead.
Says that Peterson and Caggiula are minor league signings.
Yeah.
Which we figured. Like, we didn't get to our friend Drake coming back. Who would have saw that coming, hey?
Drizzy.
Traded for, who's that trade for? Brandon Manning or something? Yeah.
I'm
Finally, the wrong's been righted.
Do you know what? It kind of probably speaks to who Drake Caggiula is if he's coming back to the team that traded him. I know it's a different regime and everything, but similar faces like McDavid and Draisaitl obviously played with him, so they must have liked him. I don't
He's
think
going to be a good player for the Condors.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
not trying to be insulting to that either.
But like if him and Lane Peterson combine for 82 games next year, I'd be surprised.
He had 53 points and 22 goals with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins last season in the American League.
Fucking right.
Played 4 games for the Pittsburgh Penguins, no points. His last full season in the NHL was never. Actually, he was with the Oilers in 2018. He hasn't played more. The most games he's played in the season is 40, which is 20. So that would have been a shortened season.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was 27 Arizona, 11 Buffalo, 18 Buffalo. So he's not an NHLer anymore, but he's probably better than calling up a Brad Malone or Greg the Egg McKegg or even a Tyler Benson. I think Greg has said that, right?
Yeah. So
where did Tyler Benson go? Is he anywhere?
Just
Is he out there?
Free agent.
All right. Anyway, Tyler, sorry to cut you off.
I was just going to say the Oilers cap situation. Let's talk about that a little bit here.
According to our friends at Cap Friendly, as of right now, 2:10 p.m. on Canada Day, the Oilers have $5.62 million. Tyler.
So the interesting part with that is it's 5.62, but you can they have Niemelainen on the roster. Niemelainen probably won't be on the opening day roster here, right?
I would imagine not.
Come on. So that means you can add on another 0.76 million. So 0.76, 6.38 million now.
All right.
Let's say Lane Peterson and Drake Caggiula both start the season in the American League, so you can add another 77.5 to there. So 7.155 million is how much the Oilers have in cap space.
Okay.
And
wow, that's actually quite a lot still. I know they
need so Bouchard and McLeod need to get signed.
What's that combined?
Frank hinted on our show that we could.
Let me guess.
Yep.
Liam, did you hear the answer?
I actually have it in my notepad.
Okay, I want to guess. So Frank has got a ballpark.
Yeah.
Ryan McLeod, Evan Bouchard. I'm going to guess, obviously, both bridging. 5.5.
Frank had it coming out to 2 years apiece. 2 mil for McLeod, 3.75 for Bouchard. So 5.75.
I'm pretty close.
So let's say Frank nails it. So let's minus 5.75 from our calculation. The Oilers have $1.405 million in cap space.
Go get Ryan Reeves.
Oh boy, we'll talk about that for sure.
All right.
If you could convince Bouchard to just take a little less, like if you could get him at 3.5
or McLeod.
Yeah. Or McLeod, or maybe they each take we're talking like maybe 100K less at the most, but let's say you can convince them to each take 100K less. Then you have 1.6 million with 11 forwards, 7D and 2 goalies on the roster. You want to ideally sign 2 more forwards? You can do that. You could have Lavoie come up and you could maybe squeeze in one more guy at $775,000. So maybe there actually is room for Ken Holland to make one more addition to this team and give him a little bit more depth.
I wonder what it's going to look like. Obviously, we're day one of free agency. The longer guys sit, the cheaper they'll probably get.
Oh, yeah.
There were some deals out there today. I'm sure we'll get to them in a little bit, but do you think that's realistic? I actually think $2 million. Well, I guess you said 2 years, right? For McLeod?
Yeah.
Because $2 million to me actually seemed high.
2 years by 1.9 would be great. And then if you could get Bouchard for 2 years at 3.6, that's really good too, I think. It's interesting. And then what that leaves you with too is one, you can get Lavoie on. I think Raphael Lavoie, listen, man, you can sit there and for whatever reason you'd maybe want to do this, try to play hardball with the Oilers. The best play for you is to actually make less money next year. Yes. Do not sign for $800,000 or $900,000. If you sign for $762,000 or whatever league minimum is, there is a better chance of you making the team next year. Yeah. It's smart for him to take the little short-term pain, long-term gain of, I'm going to sacrifice maybe $100K this year, but it's going to make it easier for the Oilers to squeeze me in. And then that'll give the Oilers, again, potentially around $800,000-$900K to find one more free agent. They could have a forward healthy scratched every game next year. They didn't have that last year. They were so up against cap. And then what could happen is you could get to the deadline. Maybe you have 50 to 100K in cap space already there. But all of a sudden, maybe at the deadline, you go, okay, now we're going to run with 12 men. And then you go from there.
Do you have an idea of what kind of player you would want that to be?
The extra forward we signed in free agency?
Can I give you a name?
Sure.
What about Matthew Phillips?
Dude, I think if you could get him, it's smart, but I think they'll probably want a centerman.
Yeah, that probably adds up a lot.
The beef Matthew Phillips has with Calgary is that he doesn't get a shot, right?
I spoke about it yesterday.
Is he going to look at the Oilers' top 6 now with Brown, with Holloway, with Fogel in the top 9 as well? Is he going to not look at Edmonton and just go, ooh, there's nothing there for me?
That probably fair. Feels maybe more of like a San Jose or Arizona type signing of, damn, 2-1.
Yeah, Devers just hit a yak.
So, yeah, that's probably fair. Probably goes to a lesser team. Centerman. And the other thing too, Holland has said numerous times he wants like older players.
Yep. You know who's an older centerman? Jonathan Taves. He doesn't retire and it's like September and you have 800K left. There you go. Why not? Maybe you PTO some guys.
Is there any indication on whether or not he's made a decision on even whether he wants to play?
I haven't heard anything on that front.
Because that's tough. Like we're already at July 1st. You know, guy wants to be in shape. He would almost have to make a decision sooner than later.
But with him as well, it might be like, hey, I'm going to train for the summer and I'm going to see how healthy I feel come September, right?
That would make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense too. I like that.
Like if he commits now and he starts training for a month and then is like, oh my God, like my heart can't keep up or whatever the reason is, then it's a waste, right? He might not want to put a team kind of through that. So he's interesting. Another guy I could see the Oilers having interest with. Granted, by the time people listen to this, maybe these pieces have signed. We had heard last year they liked Zach McEwen around the deadline. He's a right winger who gives you that element of prickliness. I'll fight someone. Maybe if you want to replace Klim Kostin, McEwen's also a right winger, like I said, so it fits a little bit better into the depth chart of this Oilers team. There's a guy I could maybe see on a cheap deal just because we know the Oilers have had interest in the past as well. Some people were talking about Paul Stastny. I don't see Paul Stastny coming up to a Northern team again. I think he'll probably try to stay with an American contender. Noah Gregor was an interesting idea that we had heard floated out.
I'm surprised San Jose didn't qualify him.
Me too, just because like if you're San Jose, what do you have?
Can these qualifying offers or can they be like a mutual agreement? Being like, hey, like, I don't really want to be here anymore.
But if you're San Jose, then you go, too bad. We're holding your rights. You're going to play half a season. We'll look to move you at the deadline.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, Noah Gregor, he shoots left. He's played the right side though. He can play center too. Like I think he's one of those guys that would fit into a lot of different forward positions for this team. If he wanted to come, hometown guy for, again, $900,000, maybe you could squeeze that in again.
Buddy, I'll put in a word for you.
Another name I'm going to throw out there for you guys to speculate on. That I saw rumbling on Twitter.
How?
This was yesterday. Gotcha. Evan Rodriguez.
I think he's too expensive.
Frank has him on this... the analytics thing that they did for the prices is 3.7 million.
Yeah.
But do you remember last year, this is a similar scenario with him where he had that great year in Pittsburgh and then for some reason, nobody wanted to sign him and he went to Colorado for 2 million. I wonder if that kind of happens to him again. He's 29, 16 goals last season in 69 games. Nice. And I don't know, maybe that's a fit.
Have you considered this, Liam?
Okay.
And I quote, people who invented spring rolls should get a lot of money. From Waz.
It's not something that's come up on my mind today. But
is that on your notepad?
No, but can I borrow your pen, Tyler? I got some notes to make.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your pen. I stole it.
I thought it might have been on your notepad.
No, I'm just going to write down the other's depth chart here. So I have
Ryan Graves 6 by 4.5 here.
What about Comtois? What's the deal with Comtois right now?
Yeah, maybe he's even a guy, you know, he's a left winger though, right? Or I think he's a left shot that can play the right side, maybe. Yeah, that's another one to keep on the list. Like there are still some buy low candidates out there that they could definitely look at.
And I think there's just a lot of guys that are probably just going to get cheaper and cheaper as the longer they wait.
And again, we'll do this whole song and dance as they get cheaper and cheaper. Some of these guys might look at Edmonton and go, boy, guys score a lot there.
Yep.
Like even Klim Kostin rarely played with McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yep.
And he
just got like a 300% raise.
Yeah. Like he's now making $2 million a year. Like there also is maybe one of those weird things of like playing in a big market, getting to play playoff hockey shines a spotlight on you. Yep. So if you're this $900,000 guy, maybe you go, you know what? I'll just take the $750 this year. I'll try to play well in Edmonton and I'll try to sign a bigger ticket next year, even if it's what Kostin did.
No matter what happens, all of these players, Liam promises you, will come via AMA Travel.
Yeah, all of them. They're send them links.
Liam's going to send out links to make sure that everybody knows that AMA Travel will get them to Alberta seamlessly. You save on travel insurance, cruises, vacation packages, guided vacation, coach tours, hotels, car rental, attractions, and tickets. Tyler's going on a little vac here soon. All done through AMA Travel. I'm going to Kelowna later in the summer, going to Vancouver in the summer, all through AMA Travel. They make it easy. Why make travel hard?
Are you going to say hello to Teddy Beluga when you're in Vancouver?
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, no,
if I have time.
I cannot believe how much they paid that guy.
How much did they pay him?
$1.9 million for a guy that was the 13th forward on Vegas, pretty much their entire playoff run.
Well, then let's look around.
14th forward, feel the thrill.
Let's look around the league, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
There is some interesting contracts that got signed around the NHL today. A couple of ones that I want to touch on first is we mentioned him again. Klim Kostin signed with Detroit 2x2. Mm-hmm. Sucks. Oilers couldn't afford 2x2 with Kostin.
It's a lot of money for Klim Kostin, but I like it. Still, I like the player. So
Long Ryan landing back in Arizona, $2.1 million on a 2-year deal. We'll see you at the deadline next year, pal.
2 summers from now, because it's a 2
next year's deadline.
Next year's deadline. Bring back Jugsy.
Deserved. Well done, Nick.
You know what? Jugs. He had a good year. Went out and secured the bag. Went back to exactly where he was from. Probably didn't even unpack his shit.
And you know what, too? Like, when he was here, there was all these reports on how much he loved being here.
Specifically in the mall.
Yeah, specifically the mall. Apparently lived in Sherwood Park. I can understand why he liked it so much here. Mark Pissick, whose house he lived in, was saying that the guys who he hung out with all loved him. So this is a guy that came here for like 3 months, embraced it all. So
here for a good time, not for a long time.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Great guy.
Yamo, as we mentioned, still out there.
He'll be with us next season.
No, he
won't. Anybody else I missed that we lost? Any former friends that went somewhere else?
All right. You ready to hear of a name of a guy you've never heard before that just signed at the Oilers?
Just now?
Yep. They just made another signing via Puckpedia.
For real?
The Let's Go Oilers have signed 25-year-old Group 6 UFA left defenseman Ben Gleason to a 2-year contract worth $775,000. Ben Gleason, it appears, played in the Dallas Stars organization last year, has appeared in 4 career NHL games. Okay. There you go, everybody. He has not played in the NHL in 4 years.
Listen, I was thinking about Ben Gleason before when we talked about other names that could be coming to town, but like, I'm pissed off I didn't say it.
Yeah, that one was, I was just about to say it as you were reading that off. But then the Blue Jays got another home run too.
Bo Bichette hit a home run while the Ben Gleason signing happened. So
it's a sign, people. It's a sign.
Some kind of a sign.
Did Ben Gleason, hang on now, has he been anywhere near the Leafs organization?
Oh.
Now Liam's very intrigued with Ben
actually,
Gleason.
I got him up right here.
Sadly, no.
But Hamilton Bulldog.
What does that have to do with any of this?
Steve Staios was the GM of the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that does make sense.
So it's maybe a little bit of a connection.
All right.
I'm assuming he was there. He was there from 2015 to 18. I'm sure Steady Steve was there at some point. But I tried to find it then, but shockingly, Twitter is still down. But Bob Stauffer sent out this big list before of like Oilers needs. And he also gave like Condors needs. And I'm pretty sure one of them was like a top line.
Condors
center.
Knees? Like,
Needs.
what about their knees?
Needs.
Oh,
Neddz. And wait, no.
We spread it the trendy way here.
you were right there, buddy. You were
one letter away.
Zed.
Damn it. Yeah. The joke came too soon. Anyways, Ben Gleason, welcome to the franchise.
Ben Gleason, cousin of Carolina Hurricanes assistant coach, Tim Gleason.
Oh.
Classic Timmy G.
Yeah.
He was a good D-man back in the day.
That's his cousin.
So this guy wasn't drafted. There you go. I don't know.
We spent too much time on Ben Gleason.
We're just really trying to find that fucking Toronto tie-in so that Liam could put out his meme.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
Liam?
let's
He's been
talk
sitting
about
on that meme for 12 months now.
Literally 12 months. Yeah. So as everybody knows, I have this meme that I'm ready to put out there. I won't unveil exactly what it is, but it has faces. It is Ken Holland's face. And then it's all the players the Oilers have signed for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I need 6 players, but I have 5. I need 6 players. I have 6, but one of them is Tyson Barrie. So can I use Tyson Barrie or no?
I say yes. The meme's funny. Just put it up.
The meme's great, but Tyson Barrie's not here.
Or could I do it like this? Why might have an idea, people?
Well,
make that middle part like, can you make that like an oil drop or something?
I was thinking of making it. I combine it.
don't do that. People hate your meme.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Twitter being shitty today is I clicked on RIP Twitter
and
you just can't you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Liam made a hilarious joke outside where you're doing the Daily Face Off live free agency show where he goes, it's like we're watching fucking free agency in the dark ages again. You have to wait for someone on TV to tell you what happens.
Dark days.
It really was a bit of a throwback. Yeah, just put the Oilers logo in there and then put that meme out.
Yeah, do you think it works like that?
Yeah, I think that's funny.
All right. We've got, yeah, I do like that. That worked out. I think so.
Good work, guys.
Do I have to put the Leafs logo in there anyway?
No. People would get it. Meme recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Meme complete.
Do we have a caption? Can I even tweet?
You could probably tweet out whether or not anybody sees it is a different question entirely.
Okay,
I would do is also send that to Waz for the nation's Instagram and Facebook. At least people will then see it.
I will. I'll collab on Insta at Liam Pods.
Not Liam Crew.
Not Liam Kruskow. No.
Okay.
Unless you're a player looking for a first line role next season in the AHL.
All right, let's look. So we've cleared. Another former friend, by the way, Tyler Pitlick. He was not obviously with the team last year. He signed with the Rangers.
And Archibald's in Tampa.
Yeah, Archibald went to Tampa for 2 years.
And former Oiler great Matt Nieto ended up in Pittsburgh.
Oh, Jonathan Drouin just went to Colorado per Bob McKenzie.
Bobby Mack just
back.
Slip sliding his way in.
Is he on the panel today?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He only works like 3 days a year now, but
fucking rules.
Yeah.
I want to work 3 days a year.
So we got the grind. 9 hour contracts.
Anyway, let's look around the league. Let's look at some of the interesting contracts that came through today. Where do you want to start, Tyler? What was the most interesting one for you? How about, I got to ask you because I didn't get a chance to ask you. Corey Perry, $4 million.
Yeah, Corey Perry, Nick Foligno, each getting $4 million. That's crazy. I said the Chicago Blackhawks have a ton of money to spend, but bag milk, it'd be like if I dropped you off with $100 and said you can only spend it at the dollar store. Yeah. You would come out with some things you don't need and that you overpaid for probably.
Well, because even trading them at the deadline becomes more difficult because at 50% retain, it's $2 million. You absolutely need a third team in there.
Like it was, I think, not smart. But they want to really surround Bedard with good pros. So like, I get it, but it's not the route I would have gone.
I get it.
I actually like it.
Really?
$4 million for Corey Perry?
I'm just trying to take out the money.
He had like 5 goals last year.
I get that. But they still have 18 million. I think what they can kind of bring to the team is going to be very valuable. They have a lot of picks for next season already. I don't think they really have any interest in trading him. I think they're more likely to trade maybe a Taylor Hall at the deadline than a Corey Perry. Because quite frankly, who would want a 38-year-old Corey Perry? Any value, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think he has a lot worth it. So yeah, I don't hate it. This team obviously stinks, but you can't allow just Connor Bedard to go out there and just get smothered. That
would be the Oilers model.
Yes, that would.
When Taylor Hall was drafted.
Yeah, that's why they got Taylor Hall in. I think Kyle Davidson has actually done a very good job.
Per Daniel Nugent-Bowman at The Athletic, Oilers GM Ken Holland said he's open to bringing back Kyler Yamamoto at the right price. Yamamoto currently testing the market. Holland added that Lane Peterson is at worst a number 1 center in Bakersfield. He will get a shot at training camp.
That's interesting on Yamamoto. $775K.
Bring him back.
Do it up, Yamo. Like I would.
I would too.
At that price.
I pay Yamo
$800.
How many times did we say that last year? Where it's like, man, if Yamo was $1.5 million.
Yeah.
It'd be
bet on yourself, Yamo.
They don't have that money, but
see, Liam, we did this.
I know. And the same thing with Connor Brown. This franchise here, Oilers Nation, manifested a Connor Brown income to Edmonton.
Though I will say, you gave up on the Connor Brown days till Connor Brown comes to Edmonton sign on the door, on the wall.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
The Jonathan Drouin thing to Colorado quickly.
Yeah.
With Nathan McKinnon, they played junior together, and basically that's how Jonathan Drouin became the 3rd overall pick.
That's a good vibe signing.
Yeah.
That's very good vibes. Also, the Avs do that. I like it, even though I don't think Drouin's going to be good. I just like the vibes. Then they go ahead and give Miles Wood 6 years at $2.5 million per. That's kind of dumb.
Who else you want to touch on? I'm looking at, though I got to talk. Ryan Reeves, 3 years, $1.35 million in Toronto. He is 36 years old. I don't understand that one at all.
So I looked at this, and Ryan Reeves, I think it was since 2014 or something, has only signed multi-year deals.
Like the dude must be a great guy in the the top shelf dude in the room.
They must love him. And Greg
is, yeah.
Gregor brought up a good point when we had him on O&E, saying how he's got such a personality that the media are going to want to talk to him. So maybe that takes it a little bit away from Matthews and Marner in some days.
He's healthy scratched.
Yeah. And
he's a healthy scratch. And they're like, send Revo out to the media.
Yeah. What was the other thing he said?
The other thing he said, so if the cap jumps up, like we're expecting it to next summer, the amount you can bury in the minors goes up. So actually by year 2, even there's a chance you'll be able to just bury Reeves fully. So it's still bad. Like, I don't know why you wanted to do this because he's not good. Like, all he does is intimidate and be good in the room. So still a dumb signing. But there's the big splash. Toronto just got William Lagesson.
Willie Legs?
Willie Legs is back. Yeah.
Willie Legs.
Press the button.
Come on, pump it up.
The big guy is smoking hot.
Shout out to Willie Legs.
Oh, Struds is pumped somewhere.
Yeah. Struds is like, fuck, I might get a deal. Classic Struddy. Another former friend, Dmitry Kulikov, back to Florida, 1 year, $1 million.
All right.
Fucking right.
Next one I want to bring up to you guys, Tyler and Liam, Ryan O'Reilly, 4 years, 4.5 in Nashville.
What is Nashville doing?
I don't get it. Why? The culture thing, sure. I think Ryan O'Reilly has established himself as a very good teammate, all that kind of stuff. So I have 2 angles to this. One, why did you get rid of Duchesne and Johansson to just take on that much more money? Also, Kyle Turris is still signed longer with Nashville than Ryan O'Reilly. 5 years left on the
$2 million
Turris buyout.
Fucking insane bio.
And I think that's actually, so that's my one side. The other side is they basically have a clean slate next season for most of the depth guys. So maybe the approach is like, okay, we won't be that great this season, but next season is when we kind of attack it a little bit more. And they're just trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve. From the Ryan O'Reilly perspective, why? That's it. Why? I don't get it.
Country music?
Maybe. I mean, Nashville, you've just been there for a week. It seems like a great place to live. I've been there once and it is awesome, but I just don't get it. Like, I feel like this was Ryan O'Reilly's chance to grab the bag, to go to Boston.
Yeah. Okay. Think about the kind of player you could get with $13 million, Bagnell. Think how good of a player you get with $13 million.
I'm imagining.
Okay, what's the big problem right now in Nashville? They don't have high-end skill. Who scores their goals? The answer is really no one except Philip Forsberg.
Yeah.
Next year, $13 million of their cap is now being spent on Ryan O'Reilly and then the dead money of Turris, Johansson, and Forsberg.
Is that bad?
Not ideal. Not Minnesota Wild dead cap space bad, but not ideal. Why did you want to go do all of this and have all this dead money on the books for the next few years just to sign O'Reilly and Nyquist?
Okay. Bear with me here.
Barry Trotz is getting owned in his first summer.
Here we go.
Does this kind of feel like a San Jose recipe for disaster where they just have all these guys signed for long term who are all very good players?
So I have a bucket of grapes next to me and I just lobbed one across the room to Bag Milk and he caught it on the pod.
Like Roman Josi, elite, obviously, signed till 2028. Now you have Ryan O'Reilly, who is signed till 2027. It will be 36 when that ends. You just signed Gustav Nyquist. He'll be 35 when his contract ends. You still have Colton Sissons. Granted, it's under $3 million, so whatever. Ryan McDonough, who is 34. You have for 3 more seasons. And then, you have Philip Forsberg, who is signed till 2030, who is currently 28. And you have the dead money of Matt Duchene till 2029. This is a disaster, to be honest.
It's a really weird summer for Nashville.
Yeah.
Matthias Ekholm is blowing kisses at them from Edmonton.
Yes. Big.
Checking in.
Me too.
I want to talk about a couple of contracts I do like, boys.
Here we go.
1 year, $1 million JVR in Boston.
And they got Luch for $1 million and Shattenkirk for $1 million. For a team that lost a lot of like veteran players to go out and get JVR for $1 million and then make another few low end bets. Smart work.
Greg the Egg McKegg not an Oiler anymore?
I think he is, dude.
Was just tweeted at me and said he's not an Oiler anymore.
I thought it was a 2-year deal last year.
Don't do this to me on my meme
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
Everybody
figure it out, Waz.
Figure it out, Waz.
Greg the Egg McKegg is still an Oiler. Oh,
yeah, Brett.
Oh yeah, blaming Brett. Another contract I like, boys. I couldn't believe the number beside the name when I saw it come up on the Daily Face-Off free agency show. Blake Wheeler, 1 year, $800K in New York.
Great deal for New York too.
Great deal for Wheeler in a sense too, that New York just don't have any right wingers anymore. So Wheeler's probably going to score 25 goals this season.
Probably, yeah.
And then collect the bag next season while still getting bought out by Winnipeg.
But I think that goes to what we were saying before here in Edmonton. Like that opportunity to do exactly that is here as well.
Yep.
If you're a right winger and you'll be like, you know what, I'll take a cheap deal in Edmonton and go play with Leon. I'll cash in next year.
Yeah. Maybe
have a ring on my finger.
I'm glad the Oilers didn't go after Wheeler though. Well, maybe they did, but I'm glad he didn't sign here. I just, he might be, we're just speculating, but the rumors are like the room wasn't great with him in it, right? So like, do you really want to him?
And Evander Kane's here probably wasn't going to happen.
It's you don't want to, what's the thing? Tempt the tiger? That seems wrong.
No, you don't want to poke the bear.
Tempt the tiger.
Tempt the tiger.
You don't want to tempt the tiger. I like what you're on to there.
The tiger. I think I might just keep that one in my pocket. Another contract that I want to ask you guys about that I'm seeing here. Again, Daily Faceoff's got all of them just listed. All the trades who signed where. Jonas Korpisalo goes to Ottawa, 5 years, $4 million.
An insane amount of money in term to give Jonas Korpisalo.
A guy who didn't he have 874 save percentage?
Yeah, that is a mistake from the Senators. He is very high on my list of deals signed today that will get bought out.
Ooh, who else is on that list?
Justin Hall is on that list in Detroit. That was terrible.
He was coming up.
Yeah, 3 years, 3.8, right?
Yeah,
that's banana lands.
3.4.
Yeah, Luke Schen's AAV is low enough that I don't think he'll get bought out, but it's damn close. 2.75 is so much money for Luke Schenn.
Another one from Nashville. So what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? I mean, Luke Schenn has kind of done a good job of adjusting his career path from, 5th overall pick, supposed to be the star in Toronto, didn't work out, stuck around the league and took these minor league deals.
A couple of rings.
Yeah, a couple of rings. Got this big one now. I mean, good for him, but Nashville, like, you don't have to be the guy to reward him.
What is Barry Trotz doing?
Dude, I don't know. Like, how do you not, if you're that team, again, I get that you have Forsberg and Saros and Yossi, and you're like, oh, we got to try to keep it competitive for those guys. Bite the bullet for a year and a bit. You kind of did, right? You moved off a bunch of stuff at the deadline, got your picks. Just sell a little bit more, be bad next year, get a top 5 pick. Boom, the season after that, throw a top 5 pick in your lineup. Finally, a forward who can maybe be like impactful for you and bring you that element of superstar scoring you're missing. Do that. If you're Vancouver, do that. These teams just love being stuck in the mushy middle. Look at Vancouver sitting there and going, okay, you saved $7 million on the OEL buyout. It's a tough bullet to bite down the road, but for this season, you save money on that buyout. And then you go spend that money on Carson Soucy, Ian Cole, and Teddy Bluger. That is how much money they saved with Ekman Larsson. They put it directly into those 3 guys. That is embarrassing.
Another one I want to check in on is how about a 3 years for $4 million, Radko Gudas?
I get it.
Did you see Anaheim's follow-up move?
The Killorn.
Making Alex Killorn their highest paid forward as of right now. It's 6.25. So 10.25 mil on Gudas and Killorn.
What a different Alex Killorn.
He scored a lot last year, sure, but he's old. Gudas is old in NHL terms, not in real life terms. They're both still good young men. But this screams of like the Oilers when they did the Nikitin and Pouliot things, right? It's just like you have money, you're sitting there being like, we need someone to play. And instead of just like trying to find buy low candidates or guys who are a little younger with upside, you just go, we'll bring in established guys.
Dmitry Orlov, 2 years by 7.75.
Good deal.
That's a great deal for Carolina.
Yep.
I love that piece of work.
I can't believe how much money they have. Like they managed to go out today after going to the Eastern Conference Finals. What was it? Like the third time in 5 years or something like that. Resign for some reason all three of their goalies, or bring back all three, I should say.
Yep.
Bring in Orlov and Michael Bunting. I don't love the Michael Bunting deal, but I think he's still a good player and it's not brutal, right? $4.5 million for 3 years is solid. I don't know. It just didn't seem like the market to be spending too much money, but I think they spend it well.
Former friend Laurent Brossois ends up back in Winnipeg at 1 year, $1.75 million. Did Frank have anything on the Hellebuck trade? I've been waiting for it.
Hellebuck and Scheifele, big two out in Winnipeg, and DeBrincat in Ottawa. I can't believe these guys haven't moved.
Another one I want to ask you about, Tyler and Liam. We heard about the Los Angeles Kings gearing up, trying to get things done so they can get past the Oilers hurdle. Former friend Cam Talbot landing a 1 year, $1 million deal in Los Angeles.
I think the goaltending tandem is good. I mean,
with Phoenix Copley.
I don't think it's that good.
I don't think it's that good, but I think
it has the potential to tank their season.
Copley is going to be the decider. Like if he's good, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess.
But Talbot, I think Talbot's just a good goalie, but they're not better than they were last season by any means.
I think that I was like, we were talking about this again. This was just in the office. I think me and Liam were talking about it in the PLD trade. They sent out more goals than they brought back in with PLD.
They did.
I said this. So they gave it that monster package for Dubois, right?
Yep.
Now it looks like the market for Hellebuck's cooling off. Would you be more scared of the Kings with Dubois or the Kings with Hellebuck?
Hellebuck.
So I said it at the time. Sure, their center depth now is elite.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's on the Oilers level. That's awesome. But your goaltending's not that good.
I was going to, but like my counter would be their center depth wasn't the reason they lost that first round either.
Nope.
No. The center depth now is Kopitar first line, Dubois second, Deneau third line, then Blake Lizotte on the fourth line next to Alex Turcotte and Carl Grunstrom.
Yeah.
Alex Turcotte won't be in the NHL next season, though.
He might.
I don't think he did very well this season. In what do they play? Ontario Reign, is it?
Yeah.
He had 17 points in 32 games.
Michael Bunting goes to Carolina, 3 years, $4.5 million. Gentlemen?
I think it's fine.
I wish they would have aimed a little higher. Again, Orlov signing, cool. Makes your blue line this great juggernaut. Bunting signing, yeah, he's a good player. They're still just missing that game breaker. I think I would have rather waited and seen if maybe they could have taken a stab at someone else.
Is he a lefty or a righty?
He's a righty.
Because their wing is actually...
He's listed as a left winger, but...
Okay, he's a left winger. So their left wing right now is Teravainen, Svechnikov, Martinuk, and then that Jack Drury. Oh, that kind of seems like a weird signing. Then on the right side, it's Seth Jarvis, Martin Nakes, Jesper Fast, and Stefan Nosen.
How about Jonathan Quick going to the Rangers?
They're going to lose games because of Jonathan Quick, but luckily for them, he'll probably play maybe 10.
Yeah, he's not going to play a lot.
Unless if Shesterkin gets
is he there
injured,
to mentor Shesterkin? Is like that the thing?
But like Shesterkin's won a Vezina.
Yeah, I don't really.
You could have done better with your backup goalie spot.
Agreed.
I would not be the least bit surprised if we're sitting here in November and there's like, the Rangers are looking for a backup because Quick's hurt or Quick has a .728 save percentage.
Yeah, he's got buried.
Yeah.
I would rather. They have Louis Domingue right now on daily faceoff as the backup. I'm assuming he's just a third string. I would rather have had Louis Domingue than Jonathan Quick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's the difference
crazy.
at the end
You know
of
what
the
I'd
day?
rather have, Liam? Wilhock beef jerky. Maybe a big fresh bag of it. Spruce Grove, Leduc, West Edmonton Mall. There's a location near you or worth traveling to.
Like Dan's dad.
Like Dan's dad. Dan's dad took 2 city buses to get to the West Edmonton Mall location, pick up a couple of bags of jerky and a garlic sausage.
That is commitment.
Well,
Worth
wouldn't
it.
you do it, Tyler? Of course you would.
I would.
You
I
would
would take
travel
3.
to there's no lengths far enough for Tyler to get beef jerky from Willock Beef Jerky. Promise.
This Quick thing, sorry, just quickly on Quick. It doesn't make any, it's such a weird one. So they paid him $825, which is obviously nothing. Domingue is $775, but they have $7 million left in cap and they have to sign Keandre Miller and Lafreniere. But essentially the rest of their team is put in. They already have 12 forwards without signing Lafreniere and 6 defensemen without having Miller signed. Why wouldn't you just throw $1 million at Campbell? Not Campbell. Cam Talbot. I don't know.
Talbot might not wanted to come there because he knows he wouldn't play a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you are looking for, because they had what's his nuts last year, right?
They could they could realistically, like Keandre Miller won't be that expensive. Lafreniere won't either. They could probably be shopping in like the $2 to $3.5 million range here.
For a backup goalie?
No, for just an extra forward.
Did you guys see the Miles Wood money yet to go along with the 6-year term?
Yeah, we talked about it. 2.5.
I don't hate it.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be 3 or 3.5.
I thought it was going to be like that too. He's now the 6th highest paid forward. 27 years old, takes him to 2.5 million. I don't hate that deal by any means. Kind of rounds out the top 6 a little bit. Do we know what's going to happen with Valerie Nichushkin?
I think he's just going to be showing up and playing next year, as weird as that is.
We're just going to pretend like...
I honestly think that's the route the NHL's going here, is they're just pretending it didn't happen, which is pretty messed up. Again, that's just me speculating, but like you would think we would have heard of something by now, or that we would have heard like the NHL's debating discipline. There's nothing.
Because he's not suspended.
Nope.
Hey, good news, guys. Breaking. Rate limits increasing soon for unverified accounts. Soon you will have been able to watch 800 tweets instead of just 600.
Hell yeah.
This is insane.
If the goal was to ruin the website,
it worked.
Yep. We're doing a good job. We're doing a great job.
Is that what the problem is today? My rate limits?
I'm just using TweetDeck, and
TweetDeck seems to work fine.
I'm sure Elon will try to find a way to do this.
Yeah, there's probably going to be, he's probably going to crush that at some point. So,
oh boy.
Shh. On September 1st, Tyler. You joking?
Strong grape?
That's strong shit.
Grapes are good. Islanders have given Scott Mayfield a 7-year deal.
I said this in the office, and I'll say it for the audience. Is there a lazier GM in the world than Louis? What's his name?
Lou Lamoriello.
I like Louis Lamoriello.
Maybe he'd be more fun if his name was Louis.
Like, man, what are you going to do? Just run back the same team?
It's good. Aside from acquiring Horvat, it's going to be the same team for like a 4th straight year.
Call me when they re-sign Josh Bailey in a couple hours. Like, it's happening, isn't it? Like, this team... I like a lot of the players they have. I think Bo Horvat's good.
Oh my God, they gave Pierre Engvall 7 years.
Who did?
The Islanders.
What? Why?
Why would you do that?
Who's he? Oh my goodness. 7 years.
Pierre Engvall.
Golly. Wow.
Oh my God, they gave Varlamov 4 years. They gave Sorokin 8 years though, at least. They just signed like 4 guys as we were doing this.
Because that's what Lou does. Like he did. Remember last year, they literally didn't do anything. He brought in Romanov.
If this Engvall deal is for anything more than like a $3.5 million AAV, like who were you negotiating against, Lou?
So sorry, is the Varlamov? So Varlamov, do we have numbers on this?
Mm-mm.
On any of them?
Mm-mm.
So they have 10 million in cap space to sign those 3 guys.
Yeah. So
8 by 825 for Sorokin.
Okay, but that won't kick in until next summer.
8 by 825. That's a great deal.
Are you serious? They only had like
they have 10 million.
So, but I bet you it's Varlamov 2, Engvall 3, Mayfield 4. Yeah, and it'll come in at like 9 mil.
Just enough for Josh Bailey to return.
Brian Dumoulin's going to the Seattle Kraken.
Old Doomy, they call him.
Yeah.
Old Doomsday. Doomy doo.
On September 1st, that is a Friday, leading into the long weekend, we are holding the 5th Oilers Nation Open.
Maybe 6th.
It might be the 6th, but we're pretty sure it's the 5th. Pretty sure. I have 5 fingers. I counted 5 tournaments. September 1st. We are going to be putting it up for sale on Tuesday. That's July 4th. First thing in the morning, we are going to have that up on the Nation Gear store. So if you want to put a team in, we're going to be raising some money for the Gregor Foundation. Of course, Gregor's Grads buys suits for some graduating students in need. They get to keep them. Gregor does a speech on it every year. You will get to see Gregor cry. Tyler, it's always a good time, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's basically the only reason I go.
The tournament's great. It's going to be out at the Millwoods Golf Club. We're going to have a great day. We're going to do a little bit of golfing. We're going to have a little bit of shenanigans. We've got a bunch of prizes to give away. We're going to raise some money for the Gregor Foundation. It's going to be a fantastic day. Watch out for the full announcement and all the details you need to sign up coming on Tuesday. That's July 4th. We'll have that at Oilersnation.com and all our socials provided that Twitter works.
I had some people reach out to me through the DMs and ask about maybe are we doing mosaic teams again?
Of course.
And I do believe the plan is to have some mosaic teams. So if you go ahead, shoot me a DM or email me, however you kind of like doing that. And I'll start putting together the loose framework for some mosaic teams.
Bowen Byram 385 for 2 years.
3.85?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're having fun in the office here at HQ today.
Just Waz is having fun.
Yeah, Waz is just sitting out there by himself, just like laughing at stuff he sees on the internet.
The colors are brighter in Waz's world, you know?
Yeah.
You should have seen him enjoying the baseball game last night. We were at the Riverhawks game. It was his first one. First one ever.
The baseball game in general?
I think so, actually. Okay. So we were answering some very funny Waz questions last night about how baseball works.
I would have loved to have been there.
Yeah, I was almost going to text you, but then I didn't think you'd care.
I went to the Riverhawks game on Thursday.
I'm going tonight.
I'll be there tonight too.
I'll be there with you. Why was it backwards?
Why not?
I don't know. We should get that clip. I feel like we could use that.
That's a new thing that we can do. We're going to a Riverhawks game tonight. A little celebration with the nation staff. Looking forward to it. Very, very much looking forward to it.
I might get out of control.
Crazy out of control?
I might get like super in one with you.
Yeah,
you inspired me. You said it on our show. You're like, I might drink a lot tonight.
I'm not driving, so I'm in.
Do you know what? I do this. Cleared the visa last night.
Did you?
I'm ready to play.
Ready to pack it back
That's
on?
always a good feeling when you go and just pay it off fully. And you're like, I can ball.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I can swing with the big
ones.
I'll worry at the end of the month about it.
If you decide to tie one on today, count me in.
Okay.
I will be someone else's problem.
I don't have any plans tomorrow. My girlfriend works all day.
I've got no plans tomorrow.
I'm going to lay in my bed. Oh, 3 million 7 years for Engvall. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
But like, why 7 years though?
I don't know. Classic Lou.
Anyway, whatever.
Lazy man. For now. Yeah, I get it. He's won the cup and everything. I understand it. But you know what? This is what irks the shit out of me. You get Lou Lamoriello, who at the New York New Jersey Devils, very, very good. No cap.
No cap.
No cap. Not in the way that the kids say it, but just like no cap.
There was no salary cap. But also no cap.
And then like he just continues to do this stuff and doesn't think creatively. And then you get Ken Holland, who is a similar GM in the sense of like he had a lot of success in a non-salary cap era, but has now got the Oilers in a position to continue to contend for probably the third season in a row.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why do we not give him credit when you have Lou Lamoriello just absolutely ripping the New York Islanders apart? You were in the Eastern Conference Finals. What was it, like times, 4 years ago? Like
the thing is, you sign a guy for 7 years, Liam, then you get a few more extra summers off, right? Like if you just sign everyone long term, it's less work.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Work smarter, not harder. Attaboy, Lou.
It's cottage time.
Yep.
For old Lou. He's got that phone plugged into nothing. Just texting everybody.
He's got his private line that's not private.
For our friends at Star Mechanical, I want you guys to think about your winners and losers of the day as I do the ad read, all right?
I think I got my loser keyed up.
Okay. Star Mechanical is one of Edmonton's biggest locally owned plumbing and heating businesses. They've been working within the community for over 20 years, and many of the homes built in Edmonton over the last 2 decades have had their plumbing and heating systems installed by Star Mechanical. Basically, the point I'm getting at is they are legit. They're pros. They excel at what they do, and you deserve to have their service. Star Mechanical. Boys, losers of the day. Oh, I'm going to get a little button here. I'm not going to be able to hear it, but I'm going to pretend I'm Liam in Vegas and just when the button goes off, we'll assume that it's done.
Let's make sure they're on. For me, the losers at the New York Islanders for everything that just happened whilst we were on this show.
There you go.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Okay, Tyler.
I'll say the Canucks for shedding cap space and then just immediately spending it in the worst way possible.
Oh, that's cold.
I'm going to go with Calgary Flames because have they done anything today?
But sometimes on July 1st, doing nothing isn't the worst thing in the world.
But they're terrible.
Good point.
So counter, they're terrible.
What the hell is going on?
I would love to get Quads or Faber on this show and just discuss what went down today. Like, if you're curious, go listen to Canucks Conversation today. I think they just finished the show a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And just hear what they had to say about what went down, because it's just, do you remember the year they signed under Jim Benning? What was it? Jay Beagle, Antoine Roussel, and was it Louis Eriksson? And then it was like the absolute disaster of paying them all like 12 million combined. And then the answer to that was to
trade for OEL.
Trade to OEL. And now they just bought out OEL to create this cap space to sign Teddy what do you say his name? Beluga for 1.9
Baby
million.
Beluga, they call him.
Ken Holland signed Connor Brown today for not even half of that amount. Less than half.
To be fair, Quads did text me today saying Oilers may have got a good one with Lane Peterson. Could be a guy. Played decently well alongside Elias Peterson in a very, very short stretch. Showed he could keep up to some extent. There you go.
Fourth line center.
That's fine.
I love it.
Yeah,
You need a competent fourth line center.
He's 26. Like the idea of him having some upside, like he's Vinny Desharnais's age, and he took a step forward last year. So why not?
Why not?
Do you think the Pittsburgh Penguins are losers? They signed Tristan Jarry, which I think is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, 5 years, 5.375 until 2028 for a guy that's injured a lot.
Yeah.
Nedeljkovic, whatever. Ryan Graves, for 6 years. Riley Smith. I don't know. I feel like they're just the same old Penguins.
Honorary losers?
I think they might be.
How about some winners then, Liam? Let's flip the ledger. I got my positive buttons going. Who is your winner of free agency day one so far? As of 3 p.m.
My winner of free agency is, I kind of like what the Dallas Stars did, bringing in Matt Duchene, and Sam Steele's a good player as well for what they got him at. I guess they signed Craig Smith for $1 million too. Like I like what the Dallas Stars did today.
He's a hot guy.
Tyler, who is your day one winner so far as of 2:55 p.m. Mountain Standard Time?
Day one winner. I like what Boston did.
You're a big Lucic fan.
Yeah. I like
second time that Taylor Hall has been traded for the space required to sign Milan
actually,
Lucic.
You know who I didn't hate as kind of an under the radar team that made a couple of splashes? It's the Buffalo Sabres. That was a blue line that before today, it was Dahlin, Samuelson, and Owen Power. 2 23-year-olds, a 20-year-old, all going to be studs in the NHL. They had the framework of a very nice blue line. What do? Go get Eric Johnson for a year. Veteran guy can show those guys the ropes. Go sign Connor Clifton, a right shot D-man, 28, maybe some upside there. Good 3 year, $3.3 million. Now you look at it. Dahlin, Samuelson, Clifton, Johnson, Owen Power, and then one of Lyubushkin, Yokoharu, Jacob Bryson, Riley Stillman to round things out. All of a sudden, it's like, man, Buffalo's blue line looks decent. They have $5.8 million left to spend with a full roster. So like, dude, they could go after Tarasenko. They could go after any one of the forwards. They go after Bertuzzi. They go after any forward left on the market and feel pretty confident about their ability to not just bring that guy in now, but still have enough money next summer to get some important extensions done. I think Buffalo played today very nicely.
Pour it on.
I like, I'm going to go back to what we touched on a little bit earlier. I know I made fun of Lucic for signing back with Boston, but I actually quite like what Boston did. Yep. JVR at $1 million. I really, really like that one.
Shattenkirk as well.
Shattenkirk, he's not the Shattenkirk he once was anymore by any means, but at that money, he's going to provide you some offense on the back end. Why not?
They kind of remind me a little bit of what Tampa would do. What have you got there?
Lars Eller to Pittsburgh, 2 years, 2.45.
Pittsburgh is spending all the money today.
Can I give an honorary winner for kind of similar to Pittsburgh being my honorary loser? Is the Arizona Coyotes in that they didn't spend money like the Anaheim Ducks did. Like you got Jason Zucker, I get it. 5.3 million is a massive overpay, but he's there for 1 year. Nick Bukestad, obviously we know him, good player. They got to address their blue line, but bringing in Sean Durzi is good. Mm-hmm. They're trying to be more competitive, that's been reported, and I think they've actually done a pretty good job of making their team better. And next year they're going to get like Dylan Gunther in the team. So
put some respect on my name.
There you go. Honorary hot performers for Liam. Just check in, wrapping up the pod here, checking in with our friends at Betway. I've got a little bet here I'm looking at, Tyler, for today, Canada Today. How do you feel about a Betway boost? provided that I give you a little details that may tickle your fancy.
Hit me.
Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run versus the Diamondbacks plus 350.
Who's starting for the D-backs tonight? Shohei Ohtani, it seems like he's been hitting a home run every second day. So like, it's not the craziest thing in the world. ERA for the Diamondbacks pitcher is almost at 5. I like it. Yeah.
Liam, how about Max Verstappen to win the Austrian Grand Prix at minus 500?
Oh yeah, sign me up for that one. I mean, if you want some guaranteed money, just pick him to win.
Yep.
No, nobody outside of Red Bull has won a race in Formula One this year.
Did Checo not win?
Outside of Red Bull.
Oh, outside of Red Bull. Yeah.
Jonathan Drew on 825 for 1 year.
Cheap.
Cheap.
He's barely an NHL player, but the bet just off the vibes is good.
What's his deal?
It's a really low risk gamble, 825.
Yeah.
He had the mental health issues, right? It's kind of the thing with him.
Yeah.
It is. It's unfortunate because I remember him coming into the NHL and he was could be this dynamic goal scorer, and it just kind of never played out that way.
They traded Sergachev straight up for him.
Straight up trade for 1-for-1.
And the second round pick.
Wait a minute.
Tampa Bay traded a conditional 6th round pick and Jonathan Drouin to the Montreal Canadiens for Mikhail Sergachev and a conditional 2nd round pick in 2018.
That's an all-timer. That's an all-timer.
Mama.
See what it was.
That's worse than Reinhardt for the 2 firsts.
You think? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Sergachev's pretty good.
2nd round pick that went from, what would it be? Sorry. From Tampa to Montreal to Tampa.
Yeah. They might have flipped it again, knowing Tampa. No, yeah. Montreal.
Where is it?
They might have flipped it again, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it was conditional though, so it might have been.
Oh, it might not hit. Yeah. Anyways.
How would I ever find out?
Well,
there you have it.
Good show, everybody.
Damn it. I need to know.
There you have it.
It'll tell you on HockeyDB if
it didn't know it. Look, I click on it, and
so I bet you the condition didn't get hit. I bet. Otherwise, it would say like.
But there's no. Okay. Well, there you have it.
There you have it, folks. We're going to wrap up the bonus episode of Oilers Nation Radio. We're going to see what happens over the next couple of days. We're going to go off into the sunset. Got to get ready for the Riverhawks game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. Should be a packed house in there.
Yeah, Aaron told me already 7,500 tickets sold out as of this morning.
And I looked last night, capacity is 9,200 in there. So
sick.
We're going to be full up. Last night was another great crowd. I don't know how many was in there, but like probably 4,500.
When I went on Tuesday, I think there was just over 2,000 in there. Thursday. For a Thursday night game, I think the fun.
Last night, the vibes in there were excellent.
Yeah, the vibes were good.
They were excellent.
Although I did sit on my own.
One last thing that I want to say, you went by yourself?
I dropped my girlfriend off at Blink 182 and I was like, what am I going to do? So I went to the Riverhawks game on my own.
Yeah, why not? One thing I do want to mention is last night, Kylie, Kennedy, and Gina participated in the freezy eating race. So it was like one of those jumbo freezies. And they had to see who could finish it first. The win was given to Kylie, but the controversy.
I watched the video.
Controversy from that decision was alarming. The girls came back into the box and started yelling at each other about who had actually won. You watched
Kennedy. You won that contest. I'm Team Kennedy. Yeah.
See, Kennedy knows.
Can I read out a tweet?
Please.
From Stephen Ellis.
Sure.
Lou Lamoriello will be 87 years old when Pierre Engvall and Scott Mayfield finish their deals.
That's actually fucked that he's 80 and still GMing a team.
I actually thought he was a joke at first. And then I Googled him. Realized he's 80.
You know, Stephen Ellis's tweets are always for the lols. That is wild. He's 80 and GMing.
I mean, good for him. You got to respect
that. Well, that's why
his son is 51.
He was trying to figure it out. He was trying to figure out Twitter, but he couldn't open anything. So he just signed what he had. You know? Hey, newspapers don't get delivered anymore.
None of us could open Twitter today, Lou. I don't blame you.
All right, boys. Final thoughts on free agency day. Well, if you're going to give the Oilers a letter grade, what would it be?
A. And you know what? For some of these teams, sometimes the best contracts are the ones you don't sign, right?
Sure.
Sometimes by standing on the outsides, you'll get a good bargain tomorrow or the day after. You can't judge it all on day one.
Can I ask one question too before we leave?
Please.
One player or position you would like the Oilers to upgrade still?
anything in the bottom 6?
Defense.
Kyler Yamamoto. Bring him back.
Just the Yamamoto position on the team.
Bring Yamamoto back.
Well, we did see Daniel Nugent-Bowman tweeted it. If you can find it, you can see it. Ken Holland said he is open to bringing Kyle Yamamoto back.
That means they've had conversations.
They have.
Come on, Kenny.
Come on, Yamo.
Do it for that guy who has the Yamo Pulyafi and Carson jersey hung up in his room.
Oh my God. Did you see that?
That was awesome.
The guy goes and I'm paraphrasing his tweet. He goes, I'm just going to stop buying jerseys.
Yeah. I used to do that with the Detroit Lions.
I showed it to sales guy Jared and he goes, is that Rick's house? I was like,
man, you can't be kicking Rick when he's down, you know? He had a hard week.
I have 4 Detroit Lions jerseys, and within a year of me getting those jerseys, those players left or retired.
That sucks.
Yeah. We were sitting here doing O&R on Friday, and Liam was just talking or whatever, and I look over at Rick, and he was just sitting in his chair with his head down.
The footage is immaculate.
It is great. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to take care of some business here. We're going to go off into the sunset. I want to say thank you to the folks at Star Mechanical, Willock Beef Jerky, Betway MA Travel, and Cornerstone Insurance. Last thing I want to mention, 1, Oilers Nation Open. That's going to go up for sale on Tuesday. 2, also on Tuesday, we are going to be down at the Brick Tournament at West Edmonton Mall, interviewing some of the kids, interviewing some coaches, talking to some of the players, making some videos.
Very neat.
Go check that out.
Such a cool tournament.
The weird thing about this is these kids are so small and they are so good at this sport.
Yeah, I've done play-by-play for the tournament a few times. It is cool.
The puck skills on some of these kids nowadays, ridiculous. So we'll be down there watching some footage coming out from the Brick Tournament next week. Final thoughts, Tyler? Welcome back, buddy.
I'm happy to be home.
How was
honestly.
Nashville? When'd you get home anyway?
Very muggy, late-ish last night.
Flight delays?
No, it was just that was.
Of course not. MA Travel sorted out. Boom, roasted.
Bang, bang.
Liam, final thoughts? Do you have another question you'd like to ask?
I think I'm all questioned out.
All right.
I'll ask another
Let's wrap it
box.
There you have it. Wrapping it up. Have a great long weekend, everybody.